بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وبه نستعين. الفيديو ده بيتكلم على EST Physics Syllabus Chapter 17 Diodes and Transistors. Semiconductor devices. Semiconductor devices, it is a material whose conductivity is very low in comparison with conductor like copper. يبقى semiconductors material whose conductivity is very low in comparison with conductor like copper, but greater than that of insulator like glass. Common semiconductors بقى materials are tetravalent elements. Tetravalent elements like germanium and silicon. Common semiconductors are tetravalent elements like germanium and silicon. We can improve conductivity of semiconductor by two methods. أول حاجة increasing its temperature. يبقى to improve conductivity of semiconductor we increase its temperature, which break covalent bonds of the crystal, releasing electrons, improving conductivity. يبقى by heating there will be breaking of covalent bonds, releasing electrons, improving conductivity. The second method is adding impurities to the pure crystal of semiconductor. Adding impurities or atoms of pentavalent element like arsenic provides free electrons. يبقى adding atoms of pentavalent element like arsenic provides free electrons to form a crystal which is N-type crystal donor. هنا majority charge carriers are electrons. Adding atoms of trivalent element like gallium provides holes to form a crystal which is called the N-type crystal acceptor. The majority charge ions here is the holes. Semiconductor diodes. When a piece of N-type crystal is in contact with a piece of B-type crystal, يبقى الديود a piece of N-type crystal is in contact with a piece of B-type crystal. The contact surface between the N-type and the B-type crystal is called P-N junction or diode. At P-N junction, the electrons can go only in one direction from the N-type, which provide electrons crystal, to the B-type crystal. At P-N junction, the electrons can go only in one direction from the N-type crystal to the B-type crystal. The conductivity is poor in the opposite direction. One of the chief uses of diode is to rectify, that is to change alternating current into direct current, but the rectification here is half-wave rectification. Half-wave rectification, yes. هنا عندي ايه؟ هنا عندي input alternating current. هنا عندي P-N junction. ادي B type وادي N type. ال B type is positive وال N type is negative type. If the P-N junction ده ال input which is alternating current, ده ال output بقى. If in the first half cycle if the P-N junction is forward connection, يعني ال B type is connected to the positive terminal here, the first half cycle will pass. In the second half cycle, the B-type will be connected to the negative pole of the input, so the second half cycle will not pass, and the only first half cycle will pass. We will have half wave rectification of alternating current. Transistor has two junctions which may formed by B-type wafer. ادي B-type wafer اللي هو هنا البيز between two sections of N-type giving N transistor. يبقى في عندي البيز اللي هي بنسميها الويفر is B-type, while between two sections of N-type crystals اللي هم الاميتر والكوليكشن والكوليكتور, emitter and collector type. There can also be NB transistor in which N-type هيبقى البيز, هنا N-type البيز is between two B types. يبقى a transistor consists of three bases, emitter, base and collector. It consists of three crystals. يبقى الترانزستور consists of three crystals, emitter, base and collector. Electric circuits transistor is drawn as ادي transistor, ادي البيز which is here an N-type which is called the wafer, وبعدين في عندي الكوليكتور B-type وفي عندي الemitter B-type. البيز is produce very small current due to its very few impurities and it is very thin, few microns thickness. Type the arrow on the emitter indicates the direction of conventional current which goes from the B-type to the N-type. Here we have NBN transistor and here we have BNB transistor. برضه consist of three crystals, emitter which is N-type, collector which is N-type and base which is B-type. احنا قلنا البيز دي very thin, few microns and contains very few impurities, so the current of the base will be very small. The arrow on the emitter indicate direction of conventional current from the positive base to the negative emitter. Transistor is used in amplifying voltage and power of signals. Transistor is used in amplifying voltage and power of signals.